The reason why I'm not showing my face is because a lot of people should know by now I do not like to show my face whatsoever in anything I do. And if I show my face, it's either because I asked my sisters or my mother and that type of stuff. That I like showing my face because I didn't take the picture. I am terrible at my own pictures. Because, yeah, I am not a great person when it comes to taking photos, and I don't like taking photos of myself. But anyway, on to what this video is actually called, because I am distracting my own self by telling people this stuff. So yeah, the reason I'm talking about my own testimony, I have been to heaven multiple times in many different dreams. I know it was heaven, and heaven is a very, very beautiful place. And a lot of people that I know would like to go there one day because of how beautiful it is. You get to see the Garden of Eden for how it really looks. It's so beautiful up there. Much more beautiful than how it looks down here. How it used to look back in the day, it didn't look as pretty when it was first made. But now that it's in heaven, you get to eat from the tree of life. And once you eat from the tree of life, you live forever in heaven. But let's get on with it. There are people that I know who would go to heaven and people who are not. I could tell just by looking at a person just who is going and who is not, and how they behave and how they act. But that is not a definitive answer. What I mean by that is they can still reach to heaven, but they have to do things in order to meet God, to get there. It is a process. You can't force someone to believe in what you believe in any way or shape or form. They have to get to God on their own. You can give them the pieces to God, but you cannot give the pieces, give them pieces that are make them drive away from God. But yeah, other times, people that I know probably won't even watch this video or take my words seriously enough because I am autistic. I sound like a kid. And another fact that they won't believe me. This is just pretty simple. People don't believe what they cannot see. They want evidence. They want proof. But you can't see it unless you're dead. And you cannot get there when you die if you're going to hell. That is one thing that my message is pointing to. Hell is a bad place. I have not physically gone there. Like in my dreams, I have not physically gone there. Like, I've been to heaven multiple times. And I know multiple times I've probably been to heaven, but past lives and returning back to Earth. Because I know I have been reborn a few times, but I don't remember much of my past lives. But you get small glimpses here and there. Also, I am going to point out from VisiPops, which a lot of people like VisiPops creations. It is still a creation and is not technically connected to actual heaven and hell. Though, there are things that are worth noting that are in heaven and hell in VisiPop stuff. There are natural born demons with the fallen angels in hell. But the fallen angels in VisiPop show are not there yet, or haven't been explained yet. And no, there aren't 7 rings of hell. There are 9 layers of hell. And how do I know this? Is because I seen a book with it in heaven. Heaven has a huge library that you can see all fictional stuff that people have written. Every book that has ever been written is up in heaven. Even if the person is not good, it always ends up in heaven. Everything they have created is in heaven. Everyone has their own mansions, even the ones who are condemned to hell. But the ones condemned to hell cannot get to heaven and cannot earn their mansion, but their families can. The ones that manage to get to heaven and see their work. Like their art and what they in their life, so they won't have to grieve as much. They can go there if they want. They are not forced to be there. Also, in VisiPop show, there are 9 layers of heaven. Not the ones she literally states there is. There are 9 layers. The reason for this being is because God lives in the main domain for heaven, where our souls will end up going. Once we redeem ourselves, once we are baptized completely in the blood of Jesus, we can go there. We can meet God face to face with a few of the angels. But below that, Lucifer cannot enter that heaven. He can only reach that level of heaven, which is the 8th floor of heaven. It's not floors, it's just in the sky. Technically, we're in the middle, and there is a lot of layers. You guys won't get it. What I'm talking about. It would get more confusing, if I keep saying it. Also, the earth is not flat. It has never been flat. It is round, not like a ball, like what scientists would make you believe. We have mountains, remember? And mountains go above a cloud sometimes. So it's has ridges because of you've seen one of those spike balls. Yeah, just image that with mountains and water and leaves and trees and houses. As well as Babylon is America, but the most sin for Babylon. I know I'm getting off track of VisiPop, so I'll be back to that in a minute. The Statue of Liberty is the symbol of the Whore of Babylon. It is not Lucifer. I don't know why the Freemasons called Lucifer. It is not. The actual name for that thing is Babylon. And people should know it's the Whore of Babylon. Because if you can tell, the Whore of Babylon is starting to look more pregnant recently. But no one notices it unless you have a trained keen eye that knows she's no longer flat. She looks pregnant. And how can that be? Well, God's prophecy. In all shapes and forms, there is many, many prophecies. And that's just one of them. Also, there is another thing. Yes, there's another thing because I'm going back to VisiPop stuff. No one can be redeemed from hell. Once they're in hell, they're in hell. Unless God has a plan for them. If God takes them, they will be reincarnated to try again. And to try again. And to try again. Until they're able to realize they're meant for heavenly things. But that probably most likely won't happen anymore soon. And Charlie's thinking, the character from Hazbin Hotel, she's thinking that demons can be redeemed. They can, but it's all up to God's choice. And not the angels, like the cherubs that can tell people who can go into heaven and who can't. People can be redeemed. But it's in a different way. It's called reincarnation. Yeah. So Charlie almost got that right. Like, literally. And I don't know why Lucifer looks like a clown. But yes. And Lilith is definitely Adam's ex-wife from Satanic times, which is the beginning of time, which is why she's not written in the Bible. She was the first wife of Adam, and she disobeyed Adam, and disobeyed God a lot, which was why she was no longer Adam's wife. God did test humans, but it wasn't technically a test to see what we'd do, what we would choose. Like, if we chose to stay innocent and not eat from the tree of wisdom, which we did, which our ancestry did. And our scientists prove that we came from one. Like, our DNA has at least one cell from ancient times that links us all together. And yes, there were other humans besides Adam and Eve, which people think there was just them two, but no. Other gods while God was basically doing his own thing with Earth, the other gods and goddesses decided, oh, God's doing this, let's do this too, and started to do their own thing. Which is why there are many different cultures and many, many different gods mentioned in Egypt. People who are made from God, mated with these people. We all have the same body structures and all that. It doesn't matter to God. We're still his children. And we all end up connected anyway, because that's how breeding works. Technically, sexual stuff is not meant for pleasure. It's meant for, you see like a dog and a cat when they hit heat, and that's the need for breeding. Yeah, we're supposed to breed. We're not supposed to take it as a sexual pleasure. But that's just a lie the devil puts in our heads. Now we're off of Izzy Pop stuff, because everything else in that is just fictional. Also, some people that have been claiming that the world is at its end, it actually is. I've seen the world get destroyed multiple times in the same way. And you guys will not like it. I cannot make you believe me, but I can tell you it's gonna be horrible for people who are going to be here on Earth. I can't tell you where to hide because that would just be giving you a free pass, so to say, to actually go there and like settle during the events. And God is only allowed to tell me who I am going to tell and who I'm not supposed to tell. And yes, I've seen Jesus too. He is the Son, and I know for a fact my brother's crazy. He believes a lot of things, and he's a narcissist. Also, there's a lot more to it. As well as, here's my experience, like more experiences I had with heaven. I've been to heaven after my grandmother passed away. We talked a bit. I don't remember all the conversations because my brain doesn't work that way. My brain is weird. But I remember images. And I remember it being very pretty, and my grandma looked younger than she actually was in life. Everyone in heaven becomes young again. Everyone else stays the same age as when they died. They don't stay young forever. People need second chances, and if you get a second chance, you're going. You gotta choose. This time, it's a permanent choice. There will be no more reincarnation. Time's up. It is up. I've seen the clock. I'm not supposed to tell you guys what the clock looks like, but I can tell you it's in a field with a sky, and it's just, I can't tell you actually what it looks like, but I can tell you the colors. It is gray. Yes, it is a dark gray. And most of you, since I can't tell you specifically what's on the clock, but I can tell you what it represents. It represents the day of the end, because it's literally nearing that time where its final click is about to click. As well as some of the stuff that's on the clock is basically from Enoch's chapter. Yeah, if you guys know who Enoch is, or listen to the scripture at all, it's basically what's there in Enoch, which has been hidden from the world for a long time. And the devil does have permission to mess with Bibles, which is why it no longer states in any Bible besides the original Bibles, the old Bibles of olden times, why it says the wolf shall lay with the lamb when it's supposed to be the lion shall lay with the lamb. The Lucifer has permission to change the Bible, which is why there's a Bible set with immoral acts. And yes, I've seen that video as well. I didn't see it, I heard a bit of it, and I'm like, no, I don't like the sound of this. But yes, the devil does have permission to change Bibles now, which makes things inaccurate now, because our Bibles are changing unwittingly. But the Quran, and the first known actual Bible for Christians, cannot be changed, which are the Sea Scrolls. Another thing before I end this video, the destruction of Earth will not just be fire and brimstone. It will also be tornadoes, volcano eruptions. Most likely Yellowstone Park will be erupting, which it will soon. I am not going to give a date, because giving dates is wrong, and will make it less likely to happen. And okay, I said tornadoes, volcanoes, whirlpools will get more dangerous, earthquakes, the demons will come up from hell during this time. And yes, you guys have technically heard about aliens, but aliens are just fallen angels in disguise, aka also demons from hell that can disguise themselves pretty good. And things you won't believe, that you won't believe, will be coming, and the sun will lose its light. It will be darkened forever. And when I mean forever, I mean it. And it won't cool down the earth. The sun will just go out. No questions asked. And once that starts, the demons are allowed to roam, after God takes his people. Now, that is about all I can technically say right now. But yes, this is how it's gonna go. And this is how it's going to end. Now, I hope you guys have a good day, and goodbye.